It's day 13. Welcome back to At the Threshold. My name is Katie. Now, if you've been following along with me on this journey, starting your own new beginnings, I hope at this point that you have found some small successes, that you have found clarity in what your vision is that you want for this year, and also maybe a little bit of insight of why that's important to you, and insight into yourself of ways that may trip you up, maybe some of your fears and things like that you can sit with, because taking care of those parts of ourselves is so important in the journey. Now, in the last 24 hours, I saw a situation unfold that I wanted to share a little bit with you because I think there is a lesson to be had. So I was in a situation as an entrepreneur, business owner. I go to these business events, right? And there's other business owners. I always joke, everybody wants to be a coach these days. Everybody wants to be a consultant, whatever it is that people are doing. And also there's sometimes people there that are like would-be business owners, like they're right on the cusp of quitting their day job. I had lunch with somebody last month who was like still doing the day job and trying to start the new thing. So in that scenario, and if you're trying to start a new business, you might relate, but I think that there's a lesson here for anyone starting something new. I saw somebody on the verge of just taking that first really big step of quitting their job, going out on their own. And somebody in his vicinity who's maybe been successful, they claim that they've been extremely successful, had a lot to offer that person. Now, if this has been you already, maybe you've shared what you're doing. Maybe people have offered you a lot of advice, unsolicited advice. I'm guilty of that. I sometimes do that. Maybe, but this woman was really selling something at the end of the day. And I learned the hard way as I started my company that there's so many people that want to sell you something to make it easier and, help you be successful. And in fact, I kind of almost felt victim to this again, just starting a new YouTube channel. And I saw the person who was about to start something, just, there's that insecurity of, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if I can do this. And that person kind of just swarmed in and it was almost like smelling the weakness and was ready to sell something to that person. Now, success isn't like losing weight, where there's this magic diet pill that if you pay whatever you're going to pay and you just pop that pill in your mouth every month, that you're magically going to achieve all your physical goals of getting fit and losing weight. The way to do it in a sustainable way takes time and takes energy, meal planning, exercise, drinking water, getting rest, and really taking care of our bodies. Now, the same is true with anything new. And there's a lot of people out there that are willing, very willing, to sell you a quick solution to make your dreams come true. And if it's not something they're selling, they might just have some advice for you. I have found this at times I feel like I was bombarded with this. And I just want to say, you don't need that. That what you do need is people around you to support you, to encourage you, and, to do it not because you're paying them big bucks. And it's amazing the people that get attracted into my journey. I had my portrait taken, and the woman who did the portrait, she's coming to my TEDx talk. I think that's so much more than I ever expected. She's been commenting on my social posts, and just that type of support is so meaningful, and yet something I would have never have asked for. Really appreciate it. And I look at the circle of people around me, and some of them I have paid because, paying someone is the exchange of energy, and I think the law of balance makes sense. I don't think you should expect people to do handouts, but there is a different type of energy when you pay someone and you can tell though, that they're really there for your success, that they're really wanting to support you, not to make themselves look good, but because they are doing what they love to do and they find meaning in empowering others. And at first glance, this is hard to tell between people. But I can tell you it feels different. And if you pause and you really feel into different situations, I really trust you'll be able to discern who's there to help you and who's there to offer some quick solution that somehow benefits them. I'll tell you one story that happened to me just last month. I had a colleague of mine recommend that I connect with someone. He is extremely successful, doesn't live in the same state as me, multi-million dollar, millions and millions of dollars that he has made on multiple companies. And my idea with Alumah, my friend felt like aligned with what this person was all about and introduced us. And I just sure, why not do a Zoom call, right? This person might have something to teach me. I wasn't quite sure what he was hoping for the conversation, but I didn't really, and I also should say I had some instincts that something wasn't quite right. Should have listened to that. But I thought, I can handle this. I'll just put up boundaries. If he's going to try to sell me something, I can say no. I didn't expect what was going to happen next. So I was in this Zoom meeting with him, and he said something really kind of flippant, if you don't like that, you can just hit cancel. And I didn't really quite understand what was going on. It was 20, 30 minutes into our conversation. And maybe 3 or 4 minutes later, I realized he was live streaming the session, that he kind of turned into something where he was coaching me and that. And so I kind of just it took me aback. And now maybe you are quick-witted on your feet in situations like this, but for me, I was not expecting to be live streamed without really understanding and without my permission, right? And so I just kind of quickly ended the call and kind of was oh my goodness, I should have listened to my gut, because I just put myself in a situation by not doing that made me feel really used. And so there are a lot of people out there who are trying to sell something, make themselves look good, and they're trying to, unfortunately, they prey on people, they use others to do that. And I believe real success does have nothing to do with that. Real success, if you recall, we went back and defined what success looks like for you. I don't think that's what you wrote down. If you did, I don't think you'd be watching these videos. It's certainly not my definition of success. My definition of success is to empower others. So, trust your instincts, trust your gut. And I know that starting new things is scary, but also true. You've got this. Find that inner confidence. And it's okay to have questions of doubt and fears, but use this time to reflect. Use people you trust to get advice from when you need it. Find that network. Just be mindful of these things. So that's all I have to offer today. For reflecting, I would encourage you to reflect on, how are you making decisions? Are you making them out of quiet confidence that you're aligned with what you're meant to do? Or are you doing them out of fear and insecurity? And just notice what that is and for you, and if maybe you want to change any of the decisions that you were about to make or that you had made. I have been doing this a long time, and I still have to reflect and check in with myself on these things. So it's just part of the process. Hopefully you found this helpful today. Thank you for being here.